Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I have some good news for developers who are interested in GPU side driver development, as AMD has announced to provide developers low level control of Radeon Adrenalin GPU drivers, but as part of driver experiment, and that includes support for ray tracing, shaders, GPU work graphics, and many more. So the news is that AMD has made a smart move by adding driver experiments in its tool suite, which will now allow game developers to tweak stuff they couldn't previously. This change has been introduced in the Radeon Developer Tool Suite, which provides developer with plenty of helpful tools like Radeon GPU Detective (RGD), Radeon GPU Profiler (RGP), Radeon Memory Visualizeer (RMV), and Radeon Raytracing Analyzer (RRA). And the driver experiment will essentially unlock setting for the developers that will allow them to play with various parameters without modifying the source code or configuration. And earlier this was only possible by AMD engineers, but these options will now be available in the Radeon developer panel, which features support for the following, and that includes the to by disable mesh shader support, disable sampler feedback support, disable ray tracing support, disable variable rate shading support, disable GPU work graphs support, and developers can optimize their games themselves by understanding what works better for the performance and what does not. For instance, if the game crashes or suffer from serious performance issues, developers can try resolving the issue by activating options like disabling ray tracing support and see if it is the actual culprit. And this is the comment via GPU Open. For the most up-to-date information, including software, hardware, and software, the list and description of all the experiments currently available, please check the RDP products page on gpuopen.com and RDP documentation driver experiments chapter. If you have idea for new experiments worth adding or any suggestion to the tool in general, you can open issue ticket in the RDP repository on GitHub. And there are more advanced features like disable low precision support, disable native 16-bit type support, disable AMD vendor extensions, disable compute queue support, and disable copy queue support to further enhance and enrich the tool suite for developers. And there are plenty of optimization software and feature as well, which will allow disabling a controller shader compiler behavior to improve the performance. And these are some of the performance side of things, like disabling float point optimization, disable shader compilerizer optimization, disable barrier optimization, disable acceleration structure optimization, force shader wave size, disable ray tracing shader inlining, disable shader cache. And developers can disable more parameters from the graphics driver which are enabled by default, but now will let them help in debugging. Apart from these, AMD has introduced safety features for making applications and games more stable. This may lead to some performance degradation, but will help developers identify the type of error causing the instability by disabling the depth stencil texture compression, zero unbound descriptors, and thread safe command buffer allocator, force structured buffer as raw, and vertical synchronizations. Because there are some of the things I do not know myself because I am not a developer, but I think these are some of the important things that the developer may take benefit from and they can optimize their game as they want. And essentially the driver experiment opens up the way for a low level control of the AMD Adrenalin driver, but without changing the actual source code. That's a good thing. With such a versatile tool suite, it will make it easy for AMD to handle game optimization. So optimization is the key and main factor. They started that ever experiment so that the developers may take the advantage, and without changing the source code they may optimize the game properly so that the community can enjoy their games, since developers are allowed to do it themselves. And that's it for today, guys. I will see you in the next.